Welcome back. It's still Rise and Shine Saturday. We're beaming to you live from the very beautiful hills of Ibiakoran. And we've had a very exciting morning here, I must say. And the conversation is slowly winding down, but then on a very high pedestal, I must say. This morning, we have a guest with us here on the show. And I told you we had a hard conversation. As we well know, the first quarter of the year has just warmed up. So we want to ask and we want to find out, how well have you ticked off on the boxes of things you planned to do this year? So will I do the honors or will you do the honors?
Women supporting women.
Women supporting women, absolutely. So we have here on set Miss Grace Ima, who is an image consultant and someone who wears many other hats, I beg your pardon. So, for the first time on set here at Spectrum Television, let's make welcome Grace. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Thank you very
your
much.
Your smile is warm, your face is beautiful, and we love that you could make it here this morning.
Thank you very much.
How's the journey here? It's my $1 million question.
Oh yeah, like I said before we started this program, it was really quite exciting.
Okay.
Seeing the fact that I'm not very familiar with you, even though I'm from here, that's the strangest part.
Okay.
But I've not been to too many places. I didn't grow up here, so that's why. But the journey was exciting.
So you pay us for the tour fee.
We've done a little tour for you, so you will.
A whole lot, a whole lot.
We like that. I like the part that you talked about that the logistic man. There's a right word, but the word is not coming to my mind. English. But then I like the fact that you said our chauffeur. Right, that's the word. He kept you engaged and then kept telling you the sights and scenes as you were coming.
Exactly.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Welcome to the beautiful hills.
That's Mosey for you.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
We are here to evaluate what January to March has been like. And for a lot of people in January, even here on set, we had a discussion about, people setting goals for themselves, things they wanted to do in the first quarter, second quarter, and the likes. So as an image consultant, I want you to tell us what has it been like? I know that you deal with people, you deal with brands. What has it been like navigating from January to March? And what would you rate the success rate as?
Okay, there's something I had to do that was over December last year. Because I realized that most persons, when they come into January, the whole vibes of let us create a goal plan, let us have a goal list, it's always on at that moment. And then after the period of January, you go back and ask the person and say, what happened to that, your goal? Yeah. And you realize that nothing has been done about that. You realize that, somehow, they missed out on whatever goal plans they had written down.
Yeah.
So I decided to do something different this year. Okay. I said, rather than have a year-in goal list, why don't we have a day-to-day plan? Okay. Which is much more simpler. So many people do not understand that. So what I do is, I have a different diary. I wrote down, say, 300 of my goals for the year.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
300.
I learned that from Steve Havley. He is always of the opinion that if you want everything in life, you just have to write the vision and make it plain. Yeah. So I wrote down 300 of those goals, which I needed. Some of it were something that I do not think or imagine could actually come true. Okay. But the main target is write it down. So I was able to write that 300. Then I broke them down into something very small. Wow. Something like, I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth. It can be looking like,
is this even necessary?
Yeah.
So, but when you start from the little ones, there's this regular saying that little drops of water is what makes a mighty ocean. So, if you start from that very little minute thing that it looks as if it's not possible, and you do it, it begins to activate something in your mind, and it's called a success activation. Okay. Somehow deep inside of your mind, it's being recorded that, I was able to achieve this today. And then it makes life very easy. When you come back to now, sit down and say, okay, what have I been able to do today? You can sit down there and say, I've been able to achieve this. You tick it up on your list. I've been able to do this. I've been able to do this. I've been able to do that. Okay. It's very much easier for me. So what I tell people is, why, instead of making this very big goal plan, Take it bit by bit. Write it down. When you wake up in the morning, you already have a plan for the day. And you realize that as you keep doing it, the universe has a very funny way of working, you know.
Okay.
It just attracts things to you. If you tell yourself, I need a car, unconsciously, you start seeing people that are selling cars around you. I don't know if that happens to you, but unconsciously it happens.
Okay.
You now start seeing people advertising, somebody having a distress sales for a car. But if peradventure, when you wrote it down on your goal list, I need a car this year, and then you now wrote down on your goal list and said, this is the amount of money I want to save. You realize that when it's the right and perfect time, boom, a distress sales comes up, and it is the exact amount of money you want.
Okay, so I got something from what you were saying. It sounds to me like self-governance is the first place that we can get successful with all of our goals and all of our plans for months, for years. So when you start, when you succeed with governing yourself daily and achieving your daily goals, you sound like that's a really big step towards achieving all the other greater things you want to do?
Exactly. Yes, that is. Not just self-governance. You know, there's one moment when you have self-governance, but you lack discipline.
Okay.
Yeah, some people
So
can.
is it possible for someone to be able to self-govern but yet not have discipline? Okay,
Yes,
please break that
because
down.
human beings are easily influenced.
Okay.
So you already know the principles that are governing your life. You already know what you can do and what you cannot do. But you do not know these principles. Why? Because you've not had a higher influence in your life. Say, for instance, somebody can wake up and say, I cannot steal. Over the years, it has been tested and proven that the person cannot steal. But take that person to, say, a CBN bank where money is being printed and is being tempted by that revelation every single day. You will see that that person, it takes a higher level of discipline now. That's why I say you can have self-governance, but you don't have discipline. If that person does not have discipline, the person has a mastery of himself, which is a self-governance.
Okay.
You already own that part. But it takes discipline now to now tell you, oh, in as much as I know myself, I know I am being tested in this particular situation. So I have to now tell myself and teach myself to rise above this particular temptation. No wonder the Bible usually says, he will not allow us to be tempted more than what we can bear.
Yeah.
And so when people read that scripture, I don't know how they see it, but I see it as something very practical. So for every stage you intend to attain, there's something bigger for you to be tempted by.
Yeah.
So it now takes you learning the act of being disciplined at all times to now own the mastery of yourself.
Okay, so self-governance and discipline must always go together for us to be able to achieve all of our goals.
Definitely.
Now, okay, so before Francis, will bring it on, I know that we have already we've gone through the first 3 months of the year.
Yeah.
Now, there are things that people had already planned to do, and some people might have done them, and some other people have not done them. And then there is already the pressure, consciously and unconsciously. There is already, a pressure mounting. Oh, 3 months is already gone in the year. Am I going to succeed at the end of this year or not? What will your words be to people who have goals, or people? Let's even talk about people who set goals for themselves.
Okay, so for those who set goals for themselves, there's a training I organized last week, and I had to tell the group of workers there. I said, it's easy to set goals and then you don't get to achieve them. Okay. Don't feel pressured about it.
Okay.
But if you intend to actually achieve them, do what I call targeted goals. My own kind of targeted goals, I tend to announce it to all my clique of friends. Okay. Now, yearly, we have a circle where we get to write down our goals and then we come and share with each other and say, okay, this year, this is what I intend to achieve. This year, this is what I intend to do. And then I realized that while doing that, I ensure that my friends keep a tabs on me. So no matter what I'm doing, no matter what I've had written down, I have a group of friends that I know that they wake up at the end of 3 months, which is quarterly, and ask me, oh, Grace, how far have you been able to achieve on these goals that you wrote down? So when I have somebody that are always keeping tabs on me, these are people that I respect. When I have these people always keeping tabs on me, it's easy very much easy for me to not achieve whatever I had to do, because at the back of my head, I have it all written out down that if I do not achieve this goal, if I do not achieve this objective, that my friend is going to come back and question why I did not achieve this particular goal. So if you have somebody in your life that you respect, say like a mentor, it can be like your boss, just feel free to walk up to that person and say, sir, please, this is what I intend to achieve. Could you please keep a tab on me? It's easier that way, rather than put pressure on yourself. And then for some that they've not been able to achieve it, chill out.
Yeah.
And then it's just three. It's actually like 3 months. So it's just 3 months.
Absolutely.
So chill out, relax. Like last year, I had a whole lot of things on my goal list. And somehow I kept pressuring myself and saying, oh no, I've not been able to do this, I've not been able to do that. But you know, at the end of the year, when I was coming back to check out everything I wrote down, I had just one on that list I was not able to achieve. And it became like a surprise to me. I asked myself, how? How did I do it? So imagine if I had put that so much pressure on myself. At the end of the day, I'll be depressed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like the fact that you have a group of friends who help you keep tab, but I'm worried about some group of friends. Now, there are situations where you share your goals. Yes, laughing because she knows where I'm going to.
It feels like you want to break a table. Okay.
Now, there's some group of friends who are your friends, but they're in a competition with you, and you kind of share your list of to do with them in the beginning of the year. And then rather than help you, they're trying to outsmart you in that situation. So how would you handle such situations?
We just pray we don't have such friends.
No. Funny enough, I actually pray I have such friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I enjoy a healthy competition.
Okay, how about the unhealthy one?
So for those ones that they are just waiting for you to write something down and so that they steal it, that's something I used to say. I am the better of this vision. So before I share this vision with you, I have it all processed out in my mind.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and run the race. There's this weird stories that they used to tell us those days when we were small. Everybody would be in a race and the hare is running and the tortoise is just doing his thing. He has his rudiments, he has his tricks all locked up behind. So where everybody is running to win the race, the tortoise is calculative. He's being calm. He's being patient. So he knows that, oh, at this point, this person is going to get tired. He already knows what he can do to win. So it's not about who is the first to run into that vision, who is the first to achieve whatever he has to achieve. See, success is as in different levels. Your achievement might be in what I call like the water leaf level. Another person's achievement can be at the cucumber level. My achievement can be at the palm fruit level. So it just takes the depth. That's something I say to people. I said, the depth at which you are falling will give you the depth at which you rise.
Wow.
Now, if you don't go deep and lay down that foundation, if you rush to lay down that foundation, you won't be able to raise the structure you want to raise. So anybody that wants to steal the vision, feel free.
You don't have a problem.
I don't have a
with
problem.
seeing the
I'm
vision.
confident enough
So,
to
but
know
what
where
if,
I'm going to.
Because I think one of the points that Francis is trying to raise is more like, you know, when sometimes the competition is, you feel the energy of the competition. You know that this person is in an obvious competition with you. I don't know how people do that, but I know that it happens every time. So you just got an iMac. This person wants to get an iMac. You know, you just maybe did a training, and it's not that we shouldn't get these things, but it's different when those achievements have a competitive undertone.
Yeah.
Right, and then when the competition is unhealthy, you know, it just sends out vibes. You know, I think it's about the vibes, right?
Yeah, the vibes.
The competitive vibes. And then sometimes I believe some of those things will drain you in your ability to actually run.
Yeah, it does. It does sometimes. It does. I recall a season where some kind of competition drained me. And it pushed me to a place where I didn't know when to share
Anymore. Yeah, I think that's
it pushed me to that point. But I sat back and I told myself, which is more better for me? Changing my friends or not sharing my goals and visions?
Okay.
So that's where I tell people you have to be wise in the choice of people you keep around.
Yeah.
You have to be aware of expired friends. You have to be aware of expired mentors. And so there's certain people that you know that, oh, I like where this person is going to. I would want to share my visions with that person. But the person, the more you share your visions with the person, the more the person takes that your vision and becomes better. And you're like, so why didn't you just help me out? You know, that kind of a situation. But because the person has, say, the popularity, the person has the right platform,
access,
the access, the person has all that to his advantage, and you do not have that. So at that point, you need to be able to sit back and talk to yourself and tell yourself, oh, this place is no longer healthy for me. And you need to be strong enough, because not everyone is strong enough. You need to be strong enough to tell yourself, I need to leave. I need to break out from this circle.
Okay.
Like in 2018, I had over 1,800 contacts on my list.
Okay.
And I was at a point where I was dying. But not even one, like not even one could
reach out to help.
It was strange. And that was the day I made it. And I deleted all those contacts. And I stayed in the space of 3 months, and I said to myself, if in the space of 3 months, I don't get a call from any of my friends, then I know they are not worth it. Now, in the space of these 3 months, whoever gets to call me in the space of these 3 months knows that I'm vital.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really weird trick.
I think that's something a lot of persons do not do.
I have a lot of contacts to delete.
Yeah, because we often assume that people are going to be there for us.
Yeah.
But it will be very surprising when you wake up and you can't seem to find that one person standing by you.
Wow, this conversation has been really, really full, and every time we always run out of time on set. But then just before we close, I'd like you to, you know, like in a minute, just summarize this goal matter. And then the rest of the, how many months do we have in the year?
We still have 3 more quarters. Starting today. Oh, it started yesterday, right?
It started yesterday. Another quarter is
What will be your word to everybody who's still hoping, you know, to achieve one thing or the other in any area of their life? What would you say people should do?
I would just say get started.
Okay.
Get started.
And when the pressure comes?
And when the pressure comes, just absorb it. Be a sponge. Be a sponge. Absorb, absorb, absorb. When it gets so much, get into your private space and scream if you have to scream.
Yeah.
You know, just squeeze out that pressure out of you.
Yeah.
Squeeze it out. Show up the next day and still get going.
Yeah, show up the next day and still get going. Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing conversation. But we apologize that we cannot have more of this super grace. You know, she's been like, you know, when someone is authentic in the things they're speaking about, it's been such a delight speaking with her. And then we hope that some other time we can always have her back here to speak with us and, you know, several other image, you know, matters. But yes, like you heard her just say, when the pressure comes on you, just squeeze the water out and then get back on tomorrow and just continue. We'll take a quick break, and then when we return, we will bring you the rest of the conversation on the Rise and Shine show. To stay with us.